hatch these last 3 eggs and then finish my stream up there because little Mr. Quanky Pants is really fussy. It's not. Yeah! It's a shiny kitty! So this was the moment Shiny Sprigatito hatched from the egg. And my Shinylocke journey began. So hey, I'm Shiny Mama, I'm a Twitch streamer, and I stream when I have time pretty much. But I decided to go on a Shinylocke journey through the Paldea region. And here's the rules. Let's start with the rules. So I set these rules out for myself to go on my Shinylocke adventure. Rule number 1 was hatch and trade over my starter Pokemon. So from the 5 starters, I went with Scorbunny, Quaxly, Sprigatito, Bacoco, and Charmander. And I put all these Pokemon in a picnic, and I put in my Japanese Ditto, and continued to hatch these until I got a shiny, which so happened to be the Sprigatito. Rule number 2, you can catch 1 shiny before each gym, Titan, Star Base, the E4 and the major 4 battles at the end of each path, and 1 before entering Area 0. So a total of 24 can be obtained before entering Area 0, and 1 can be obtained in Area 0 before the final battle. 1 shiny capture per area only. Rule number 3. Outbreak method and sandwich method accepted. Pick a outbreak on the map and go hunt the Pokemon until the shiny is found. Shiny Power Sandwich can be acquired by making a sandwich with a host switch using Union Circle via Picnic Together. Can only make the sandwich for the type of the outbreak. So if hunting in an area with no outbreak, only 1 type of sandwich can be made at a time. So like I can't use the same sandwich twice in a row. So water type sandwich, fire type sandwich, has to be alternated. It can't go water, water. Has to be water, fire, so on and so forth. Time skip is accepted to regenerate outbreaks for the next shiny catch. So say I've captured a shiny, I've gone and done a gym, I can then use the time skip to regenerate all of the outbreaks so I can try and catch a new Pokemon in an area I have not yet captured one. Or I can just use my sandwich method. Rule number 4. Shiny encounter must be captured. If not succeeded, keep hunting. Rule number 5. Random shiny encounters will count as shiny catch if you are lucky enough to get one. Rule number 6. Each Pokemon receives 3 lives. After these lives run out, Pokemon must be either released, stored in an RIP box, or traded to a viewer if streaming. Terra Raid battle knockouts do not count as a death due to the nature of battle. Rule number 7. All Pokemon must be nicknamed. This is a classic Nuzlocke, Shinylocke rule to form that attachment, as you know. Rule number 8. Play the game till you get to the point that the Pokeportal is available and trade over your starter. The Shinylocke officially begins at this point. So, my shiny adventure has finally begun. Shiny Sprigatito hatched at 123 eggs, so the journey begins. I started my journey on Scarlet. I picked Sprigatito after a short stroll and learning to run, battled Nimona on the beach, and made our way through Poco Path. Found the boss-ass Koraidon, who needed a feed. He saved my ass from the Hounder, and he became mine after a very rude Arven gave me his Pokeball. A hero. Anyway, that seems your problem now, not mine. Good luck. I then met Nimona at the Pokemon Center kiosk and opened up the Poke Portal to get Puss in Boots, the lovely shiny Sprigatito. And with that, the Shinylocke has officially begun. Here's our wonderful shiny, ready to begin the journey. I had to do some very careful training back on Coco Park as Sprigatito came over as a level 1 and was not strong enough to take on even the lowest level Pokemon. I battled a few Hippops as they mainly use Splash and were not overly effective against Puss in Boots. After a few battles we got to level 6 and were able to take on some Psyducks to get the XP up some more before preparing for our first shiny hunt together. After a little more training I made my way to Messagoza and was met by my buddy Nimona at the gates, and of course she was eager to battle and test Puss in Boots. After winning my battle with Nimona, she gave me 3 revives, which I cannot use. I entered the gates of Messagoza and beelined towards my new school. As I made my way up the many stairs, I came across Penny, who was being bullied by some star grunts. I made short work of the first grunt, who used a Shroodle. Nimona raced down the stairs and was super jealous I wasn't battling her. But she understood the circumstances and gave me my Terror Orb, so now I could destroy the second grunt in style. Puss in Boots terrestrialized for the first time, and we defeated Yungoos in a single leafy blow. The grunts ran away and Penny shyly thanked me and ran off. So I continued up the many stairs, down the path, and through the big school doors. Nimona met me inside and showed me around the halls. I entered my first class and was introduced by Jock to my new schoolmates. I explored the school and found Arvin in the cafeteria. He asked for my help, and of course I said yes before even knowing what he actually needed, because I'm just a nice gal. And with that, the Path of Legends had begun. As I went to leave, I was contacted on my Rotom phone by a hacker known as Casitopia, who needed my assistance taking out Team Star. I went to the director's office as Director Clavel had a task for me. He introduced me to Professor Sada, who requested I take care of Koraidon, which I was already doing anyway. Before I could leave, I was greeted by Nimona yet again. She showed me to my dorm room and sent me to bed. I probably slept for a week and awoke to Nimona in my room. She was starting to get a bit creepy. So off to the schoolyard I went. The director announced the treasure hunt and finally the dialogue was coming to an end. Or so I thought. Nimona walked me out and suggested I become a champion, but that's already the plan. Arvin also met up with us and I received a phone call from my hacker friend who set me on the star path. I jumped up on Koraidon's back and let's ride out. I checked out my map to find an outbreak close enough to hunt and settled on West Providence, Area 1. I made my way to Cortondo and healed up at one of the kiosks. I found the outbreak, which was Flittle, and the hunt began. I battled and knocked out a few using Bite and leveled up Puss in Boots a bit more, then switched to Let's Go mode after about 10 or so Flittle knockouts. Puss in Boots then evolved at level 18 and the purple yo-yo cat quickly took out over 60 Flittle. I think this is 4. After an hour of hunting on stream, I unfortunately came up empty-handed. Later I tested the Union Circle Shiny Sandwich off stream to make sure it worked. After an hour or so on my second Shiny Power level 3, it happened!
I think that's it!
A shiny Flittle with its brown bottom appeared, and the first shiny catch of the game had finally been achieved. And there it is! So say hi to Sia the Flittle. Now it was time to prepare for my first gym battle, which was none other than Katie of Cortondo Gym and her bug types, which both of my Pokemon have a disadvantage against.
The bug type.
So I came up with a strategy involving Aerial Ace and over-leveling my crew. I made my way around battling trainers to unlock Aerial Ace. Only needed to defeat 5, but I defeated a total of 8 at least. Because, you know, XP. I then spoke to the league rep and got the TM I desired. I taught Puss in Boots the bug destroying move and began leveling Sia up to prepare for our gym battle. Unfortunately, during one of our trainer battles, Sia suffered a fatality and lost one of her 3 lives. But we must push on and hope we don't lose any more. Oh no 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 no. Well, that's 1 life gone. Once Sia was level 26, by some wild battles, terror raids, and trainer battles, I quickly made my way to Cortondo and entered the gym.
Yeah, I know, you've already done this gym, haven't you?
B4. It's Nimona! The gym test was a little difficult as I had a baby in my arms, but I managed in the end, and finally it was time to face Katie. Almost there. Yeah! Oh, what? Yeah! Winner, winner, chicken dinner! Or olive dinner in this case. As I stood before Katie, she sent out Nimble and threatened pain upon me. Sia was sent into battle, ready for action, and with one little pluck, Nimble had fallen. I switched to Puss in Boots to go up against her Tarantula. Puss in Boots one-shotted the poor ball of yarn with a single aerial ace. Katie then sent out her Teddiursa and terrestrialized, but Puss in Boots also one-shotted the Teddy with aerial ace. And with that, the gym battle was over. So much for pain, hey Katie. Now it was time to search for the next shiny. I tried to time skip to generate some outbreaks in an area I could access. I had to travel east to try and reach an outbreak in South Providence Area 5, so I decided to do a rock-type sandwich as I had to pass through the area with Clorf and Nickel. And, well, you never know what you might find, right? So I worked my way through South Providence Area 3 and eventually made it to the marsh area in South Providence Area 5. But unfortunately, the outbreak was Basculin, and I was not able to hunt them efficiently due to the Koraidon not yet knowing how to swim, and I didn't want my buddy to drown. I still had the rock shiny power running, so I thought, why not just go back to South Providence Area 3 and see if I get lucky. I found a spot where Clorf spawned regularly near the Titan and kept an eye on the shiny power timer. The timer had around 7 minutes left, so I continued to run back and forth in this spot when all of a sudden I noticed an odd coloured mineral rock. Yep, it was shiny. So now I had my third shiny for the run. Things were going very well, and the shiny hunts were not taking forever like I was expecting. I named the shiny Nastly Salty. It was now time to prepare for our first Titan fight. Look out, giant crab, I'm coming for you. So now with the addition of Salty, I decided I was ready to take on the Titan Claw right away, since I was sure Puss in Boots would be more than sufficient for the battle ahead. I battled a couple of trainers along the way with ease as I made it to the spot that the Titan awaited its defeat. He scuttled up the cliff as I approached, so I followed the path to the right and met him at the top. The battle began, and in one seed bomb he ran away just as I suspected.
Just as I suspected.
He smashed open the side of the cliff and helped himself to some sweet pink Herba Mystica. Arvin finally arrived and the second battle began, but was short-lived as Puss in Boots terrestrialized and took the Titan Claw out in a single blow. Puss in Boots was very pleased with our victory, and Salty gained some XP too. Arvin and I rushed into the cave Claw had created and found the pink herb Arvin so desperately wanted to find. So, Arvin prepared us a delicious sweet sandwich, but as I went to take a bite, Koraidon gave me a look and I could not resist his cute charm. And of course, I fed it to him, much to Arvin's disgust. That was one great sandwich apparently, as Koraidon had a little glow up and found his need for speed and could now dash. We left Arvin in the cave to take care of cleanup, as we had to start the hunt for our next shiny companion. I checked my map and chose an outbreak in South Providence Area 1. I made my way south and discovered the outbreak was Azurill. I began knocking out Azurill in Let's Go mode with my flittle named Sia, as she could glide above the water surface. We quickly managed to knock out the 60 Azurill. I then connected up with my other switch and my daughter in the Union Circle, and we made a big old water-type shiny sandwich. I roamed around and around the pond with plenty of water-type Pokemon appearing, and the outbreak also. But alas, not a single shiny appeared, and the sandwich power ran to 0. But then, as I made my way back around to where the Azurill outbreak was, a little green polka dot Pokemon hiding away in the grass. I almost couldn't even see her as she was the same colour as the grass. But finally, the fourth shiny for my adventure had been found. I threw multiple Pokeballs, but she just wasn't having it. But in the end, a Great Ball prevailed and Bella joined the team. I felt a bit silly when I discovered that Azurill isn't even a water type, but a normal fairy type. But hey, I got a shiny, so can't complain. Welcome to the team, Bella, the Azurill. Let's go beat the grass gym. So now, with Bella on the team, I decided it was time to battle the artisan gym leader, Brassius. I was feeling confident with Sia and Puss in Boots, as we had Pluck and Aerial Ace to make short work of the grass types. I set Arizona on my map and made my way to the town while battling a few trainers, Terra Pokemon, Terra Raids and Wild Pokemon to gain some levels for Azurill and Nastly. When we arrived, I quickly entered the gym and met with Nimona. Much to my surprise, she didn't battle me, but hey. I started the gym test, which was some flora, hide and seek. My task was to seek out 10 lovely sunflora. I rode my trusty Caridon around Artisan, finding all the sunflora required to complete my task. Once I acquired the 10 I needed, I seemed to have done a full circle and was back at the sunflora paddock to finish my task. Excellent! I delivered the sunflora and the test was done. Now it was time for my gym match. I set Sia to the front of my party and made my way to the battlefield. Brussius leapt down from the windmill and met me with a creepy grin. Honestly, it looks like he needs a nap.
Prepare to be plucked from existence.
He started the battle with a Patilli. Sia used pluck, but didn't quite get that one shot we hoped for. Patilli put Sia to sleep, but I used an awakening to bring Sia back from Dreamland, and we finished off Patilli with a pluck.
Patilli is down.
Next, Brussius sent out Smoliv, so I decided to keep Sia out and took that Smoliv out with a single pluck. Now for Sudowoodo. I decided Puss in Boots was the best option. Sudowoodo terrestrialized and managed to survive one of Puss in Boots' aerial aces. He used Trailblaze, which did very little damage to my Puss in Boots.
Nothing.
So with another aerial ace, we finished Sudowoodo off, and the battle was won. My second gym badge had now been earned, and it was time to hunt the 5th shiny. As I went to leave the gym, I was stopped by Hassel, who wanted to have a little chat. Once I exited the gym, I checked my map to see what outbreaks were available. Unfortunately, there were none in reach, so I had to use a time skip to generate a new set. This worked, and I decided on hunting in the Sardo Desert. So I made my way to the Pokemon kiosk closest to the desert and set up the Union Circle so we could make a ground-type shiny sandwich, since the desert was absolutely littered with ground-type Pokemon. So once the sandwich had been made, I leapt off the cliff into the desert below and headed toward the outbreak. Loads of ground-type Pokemon were appearing, which was excellent, but no shiny yet. I made it to the outbreak spot and discovered it was Rufflet, so my sandwich power was not going to work for this one, but I proceeded to knock out 60 Rufflet with Salty the Nasty. It was great for XP as well, so it's always worth finding an outbreak, regardless of the type. Once I had knocked out enough Rufflet, I ran around the desert checking all the ground types as I still had the shiny power running. I had to be careful not to encounter the Titan, as we definitely were not ready to take him on. So I continued to work through the back side of the desert, back and forth through the outbreak. Loads of Pokemon were spawning, which was great, and eventually the timer had just under 6 minutes left when it happened.
That's it. You found one.
I noticed the yellow eyes and quickly checked it out. Yep, shiny Silicobra. I used Puss in Boots to get his health down a bit, then threw my Pokeball, and with that, shiny number 5 had been added to the team.
Big shiny. That's shiny number 5.
We named him Sneaky. Sneaky the Snack.
Sneaky.
Sneaky's a pretty good name. Then Salty evolved into Knacklesack. What a wonderful run so far. We still have so much more to do and I can't wait. This Shinylocke is so much fun. Let's go beat the next Titan. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful shiny adventure. If you have been enjoying the video so far, please feel free to leave a like and a share. If you want to see more, subscribe, as the journey will continue. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. So that's episode 1 done and dusted. Can't wait to get episode 2 up as the Scarlet Paldea Shinylocke progresses. Have a wonderful day and night wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you guys next time.